So let's go down to Atlanta and bring on Todd Stansbury, Director of Athletics at Georgia Tech, because times are good right now in the ATL. Todd, congratulations. What's happening?
Thanks. Oh, not much. Just kind of another day in paradise, right? No, it's pretty exciting times down here on the flats.
Todd, what's been the the timing on this has been amazing, right? Because I know a couple of weeks ago you talked about and I mentioned this in the top of the hour, the campaign to redo kind of the physical plant of the Edge building and all the things that are involved there. You then tie that in, you win the ACC championship last Saturday night. The women's team gets an unbelievable break, and they go into the tournament. They're in a great situation there. I mean, that's a pretty good 10 days to 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. But, of course, as you all know, it's, 3 weeks or 3 years in the making. And so it's great to actually see some of this, all the hard work that our staff, coaches, student athletes have been putting in. And now it's paying off.
Todd, I thought for sure you'd show up with a face shield today. I mean, that's like the hottest new thing. I thought everybody in Atlanta would be walking around with a face shield on. If it worked for Pastor and the boys, man, it just rub off. Oh, it's all good.
Hey, no, yeah, no, I'm with that coach's mask. That's my go-to.
I totally get that. That's the other thing. We talk about accomplishments and winning championships and games, but in some sense, just getting the game has been the accomplishment, right? I mean, this has been going on now for over a year, and the job that everybody has done, from Commissioner Swafford, now Commissioner Phillips, the medical folks, the coaches, the players who have bought into this, all the student athletes. I mean, it's really been an amazing run just to have competition, much less winning championships.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard for people on the outside to realize the intensity that our coaches, student athletes, administrators, everybody engaged for the last year, every single day, just to get to the point to be able to play the games. And as we saw during the football season, I mean, there was one game where we were getting ready to run out on the field and we got held up because there might be an issue. So, whether it's the tip-off or the kickoff, just getting to that point is a yeoman's task.
Todd, I want to ask you about that in collaboration with just the business of college athletics, because I know that's been an integral part of what your mission has been since arriving, was to kind of update Georgia Tech and take your alma mater and not only modernize facilities as we talk about, but also look at the way those relationships with corporate partners can be valued. In a time like this, when you have the pandemic, is that wheel spin a little faster with the relationships you have with, I know Adidas is a valued partner, things like that, but all these other folks you're trying to collaborate with and work with?
Yeah, and I think that it's also, it's just different because we're meeting like this over Zoom or whatever the platform may be. And so developing and enhancing and deepening those relationships is just, we're in a very challenging environment. And in fact, our new partnership with Legends, I mean, that whole thing was really developed and negotiated similar to how our conversation's going right now. So you got to keep those wheels moving, because at some point we're coming out on the other side of this, and we want to be in a position of strength and not trying to play catch up. So you do it any way you got to do it, but you keep doing it. That's for sure.
Todd, your spring sports have really gotten off to a great start, and it's not just a basketball thing we're talking about, but when Josh Pastner and the guys win an ACC title for the first time in 3 decades, how does that energize everybody in the building? Because, I mean, everybody's rooting for everybody regardless of sport. So how does that energize everybody else that you're dealing with?
Well, I think success is contagious, and right now I think we've got 8 teams that are nationally ranked or getting votes, and it's just we're in the competition business, and what better competition than when you're in that head coaches meeting and you're looking around the room and you're seeing all these ranked programs and coaches of the year and all those types of things. And I think it just helps the overall program and obviously what Josh has done and what Nell has done just energize everybody, and it just elevates the brand, and everybody's chest pumps out a little bit further, and it helps recruiting across the board. I think that's the other thing, is that regardless of sport, when you've got two programs like this cranking on all cylinders and getting the exposure that they're getting, it helps everybody.
Well, the other thing too is you had an opportunity a couple of years ago to bring Nell Fortner to Atlanta. And I know Josh Pastner was already there when you got the job. You've certainly supported him and watched him develop the men's side. What's been the secret sauce with Nell? Because she's come in just 2 years, Todd, you know this, has changed the entire dynamic of women's basketball at Georgia Tech.
Well, I think the first thing is she can just flat out coach, and that's, you look at now Coach of the Year in the ACC to go with her Coach of the Year at the Big Ten, the SEC, National Coach of the Year, Coach of the gold medal winning Olympic team. So she just knows how to flat out coach. But then her as a person, I mean, I went into that interview wanting to, thinking, at this point in her career, does, she want to leave a pretty good gig with ESPN? Would she be able to relate to players and all those kinds of things? And within 5 minutes, that went from an interview to how can I get this lady, because she is something incredible, and her being part of this program has just it's just put our culture on overdrive, because we've got great head coaches that all support each other, and she epitomizes that kind of support for all the other programs.
Todd, I'll tell you the cool thing, and I'm going to say this now, acting as an outsider, even though we cover the ACC. The thing that's cool right now about Georgia Tech is not only are you winning in multiple sports, but your head folks are great personalities. I mean, when Collins gets on here, it's like a 30-minute variety show, right? When Pastor's gone here with a mask and having fun cutting up and thanking everybody, Nell's a TV star, not to mention a great coach. And then you get guys like Jose Alvarado and Moses Wright. We had Michael DeVoe on this week, and Usher and these guys. I mean, they're personable. You can relate to them. And I don't care what team you root for. Just about any time we have a coach or a player on from Georgia Tech, there's almost like an automatic connection that, man, you know what? I might not even be a Georgia Tech fan, but I kind of like that team. I like that guy. I like that coach. And congratulations to you. That's hard to do. That goes to coaches, but, also having the big picture vision of, hey, they're the right fit for the culture that we're trying to create. So congratulations on that.
Thanks. It's definitely a lot of fun, and being in that coach's room with all those head coaches and personalities, it makes coming to work fun, and we're winning. I was here in the 90s, early 90s, and it's starting to feel a lot like the 90s when we had Cremins and Bobby Ross and Puggy Blackman and Jim Morris and Agnes Bernardo. I mean, we had some pretty good characters back then too, but it's a great time to be here, that's for sure.
Todd, what kind of demands has Cremins put on you? Let's be honest. Bobby's called. He needs a lot of, tickets. We need some access, that kind of thing, right? Because as he was with us last week, he told us he was writing a book, and we did everything we could not to start laughing about that.
Hey, I'm buying it. I know that. I'm buying it. But I probably have a couple of stories I could add to that book, too, as we all do, that anybody that's been around Bobby. But talk about a guy that supports the program. And I'm so thankful to have him down there on the coast and carrying the flag and representing me in a lot of golf tournaments that I can't quite get to. And we don't have a better cheerleader out there than Bobby Cremins.
Todd, I'll tell you what, though, you better get him to Indy, because I understand Sister Jean is showing up, and, everybody roots for the 101-year-old over there with the pom-poms, and the only way to counter that is to have Cremins on the other bench. That's the only thing I can come up with this week.
Well, I hear he is on his way, so we will be rolling out the Cremins in Indy.
I love it. I love that.
All right. Hey, Todd, congratulations. This has been it's been a fun story to follow, and I know it's been a lot of hard work. What's your next how do you follow this up? And I know following it up is different because you got other issues. We've already talked about the physical plant and some of the things you're doing there. I know spring football starts, I think, next week. You had pro day yesterday. Baseball, golf, all those are underway. So what's kind of the next step as we get back to some sort of new normal, if you will?
Well, I think just finishing off the spring, as I said, we've got 8 of our spring sports, which actually include fall sports now, that are nationally ranked. And, of course, a few of them I expect are going to have the opportunity to go for deep runs this year. So I'm not planning any type of vacation until well after our sports are finished, because I feel really good about where we are and how we're playing. Of course, cross country just finished 20th in the country, highest in our history, and so we're off to a great start, but we're not finished. And then, of course, we'll start getting ready for football, which we're anticipating getting back to some semblance of normalcy. And obviously, Jeff is right now getting ready for that and pretty excited about the team he's got returning and the people that will be joining his team. So, we're going to keep the pedal to the metal and keep this thing rolling.
Wish you the best.
Wow. Great
Stay
to have you
healthy.
with us. Stay safe.
Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, you too.